Hi and welcome to 5 Minutes French Grammar Fixes. Bonjour et bienvenue à 5 Minutes French Grammar Fixes. Today, let's look at more complicated sentences including the words what, which and that. Right, in my 5 Minutes French Grammar Fixes intermediates, I looked at how which one was translated by the words in this table and how our choice was based on the word that which one was referring to. So have a look at my 5 Minutes French Grammar Fixes intermediates if you have forgotten about this. When we have a which preceded by preposition, we also translate it as lequel or laquelle or whatever. And remember, a preposition is a little word like with, after, from, during, opposite, etc. So look at these examples here. I have highlighted the prepositions for you. The third sentence is quite interesting because there is no obvious which in it. However, the way the French phrase it is this way. The reason for which I am studying hard is because blah, blah. So now I have got a which, and it refers to reason, la raison, which is a feminine singular word, and that's why I'm saying la raison pour laquelle, etc. This leads me to highlight an important difference in French and in English. You probably know by now that when you speak or write in a foreign language, you're not always translating word for word or phrasing things in the same way. A typical example is with the word that, which is often omitted in English but cannot be omitted in French. For example, in English you could say, I know that we haven't got much time. Or you could say, I know we haven't got much time. In French, you cannot not say that. So you have to say, I know that we haven't got much time. And the that is translated as que. Je sais que nous n'avons pas beaucoup de temps. So this omission of the word that happens to in the following sentence. The boy I am thinking of is Canadian. But in fact, you could also say the boy that I'm thinking of is Canadian. So this is a quite complicated sentence because effectively what you are saying is the boy about whom I am thinking is Canadian. The boy of whom I'm thinking. Now, to think of or to think about is penser à. And remember that when we've got a which or a that, with a preposition, we're using lequel or laquelle and etc. But when the preposition is à, the lequel contracts into auquel. Okay, so have a look at the table here, which shows you how lequel, laquelle changes with the preposition à just before it. The same kind of merging happens with the preposition de when it is in a question. And again, the feminine singular is the only one which does not change. So instead of saying tu parles de ces chaussures ou de ces chaussures, are you talking about these shoes or those shoes? De lesquelles tu parles, which would be the logical things to say, is going to become desquelles tu parles, which ones are you talking about? Okay, let's have a look at the words which or what when they are immediately followed by a verb. In my 5 Minutes French Grammar Fixes intermediate, you will have seen that the word which, when immediately followed by a verb, is usually translated as qui. However, if your which is not referring to a single word just before in the sentence, but referring to the whole of the sentence before, it becomes ce qui. So in this first example, you can see that the word which is referring to the fact that she invited me to her birthday. It's not referring just to the word birthday. And the same logic applies in the second sentence, but here my which is not immediately followed by a verb, therefore I need ce que j'ai trouvé sympa. Okay. You would apply the same reasoning to translate what, which is immediately followed by a verb. So it would be ce qui, or what, not immediately followed by a verb, but followed by a subject and then a verb would be ce que. So this is what works best. C'est ce qui marche le mieux. I do not understand what you mean. Je ne comprends pas ce que tu veux dire. Finally, what when next to a preposition, like in front of, with, at, whatever, what is translated as quoi? So, what are you going to eat with? Avec quoi tu vas manger? Okay, so have a look at the examples I've given you here. For more information about the words what, which, that, check my What Beginners and also the intermediate one.